so we can help build within the community of our own network and where we're at here. We also, when we do these spotlights, it doesn't have to just be Atlanta. You could be anywhere in the United States, and we can make this work. And I just feel like in the era, in the climate of where we are right now, I just feel like having a platform like Post 101.3, this is what we're called to do, is help build by us being the heartbeat of the community. Without further ado, I have Miss Carla Morrison in the building from Chit Chat Atlanta Tours. Miss Carla, how you doing today?
Hey, fine. How you doing?
I can't call it. You staying warm?
Trying.
Yeah. It's cold out there.
It's real cold.
Man, I'm about to put Tim's on my hands. All right. So when I hear the name of your business, Chit Chat Atlanta Tours, right? I don't even know how to make it out. I know what it is. Okay. I'm just speaking originally.
Right.
I was like, okay, Chit Chat Atlanta Tours. So then I started thinking about, remember, it was a club called Chit Chat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I was like, nah.
No.
It's a tour, so maybe they're giving history. So educate us. What is Chit Chat Atlanta Tours?
Okay, so Chit Chat Atlanta Tours is the offspring in the tourism division of Chit Chat Communications.
Okay.
So Chit Chat Communications is a public relations firm that I have created and been running for the past 30 plus years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Talk your stuff.
Thank you.
Your stuff.
And so this year, my 30th year of living in Atlanta, I decided to create a tourism division.
Okay.
Because having been here for so long, I have developed the relationships with some of the civil rights leaders, with some of the playmakers throughout Atlanta, the people who you all look at and say, oh my gosh, they are it. That you're striving to be like them. Right. I've developed these relationships with these people, and I'm like, anytime my family and friends come to town, I'm always like, you want me to take you where Martin Luther King lived before he was assassinated? Do you want to go here? And it's like, wow, it's not the regular King Center stuff. We're doing a bunch of other things. So I decided to create Chit Chat Atlanta Tours.
I can remember growing up here in Atlanta, right? At the time that I was here. Every time, I don't know what it was, but every time somebody in my mom's friend side, family side, everybody comes, I want to go to the Martin Luther King Center. Look, I can tell you everything about the center and the house.
Yes.
Like, I can tell you that they just cleaned it yesterday. So to add that twist, I think is very unique. Speaking of unique, what makes it so unique of what you've created? What do you think?
Well, what makes it unique is the stories that I tell. I am a storyteller. I'm a journalist. I'm a PR person. So that's a given. So, and then I have met just about every civil rights leader that was in Metro Atlanta at some point or another, except Martin Luther King.
Right.
But Ambassador Young, Congressman John Lewis, Julian Bond, there's been so many, Reverend James Orange, Tyrone Brooks, and that's on the civil rights level. And then when you think about like the playmakers of today, I know them all. And if I don't know them, I got a big brother who's with another station who knows them, and he can put me in touch with them, right? And so,
speaking of that, I actually, I worked hand in hand. Are you familiar with Gerald Griggs?
Yeah.
Attorney Gerald Griggs. We actually had a TV show together.
Okay.
That was on BET. It was actually Gerald Griggs, myself, Shar Bates, Queen Ganazaha, and a few other activists locally here in Atlanta. But yeah, there are some heavy hitters. So having that access around what your business does, that helps, I guess, give that information, and it helps for you to create and kind of like
a customized tour, an experience that you're not going to get with just a regular tour.
Gotcha.
So you never know who might be on the tour with you, or just me telling the stories. And I've gotten this feedback from people from across the globe, people out of London and California, and even, I forgot the other country the guy was from, and even South Africa as well. But they're just like, wow, the way in which you tell these stories, because they're so a matter of factly.
Right.
Because it has become that now. When I first got to Atlanta, I always tell this story. I was, getting my film developed. This is when you still get your film developed at Wolf Camera on 14th Street. And I'm standing in line, and the guy who was waiting on us said, "Hi, Ambassador." And so I just happened to look back, and it was Andrew Young. And I was like, "Oh my God, isn't that the man that marched with Martin Luther King?" I was amazed.
Right.
Now, that was 30 years ago. Now it's just like, "Oh, hey, Ambassador." Of course, anytime you see him, it's always a pleasure. But it's like, yeah, okay, I'm going to be at Hank Stewart's White Linen. I know Ambassador is going to be there too.
Right.
It's a given now, and I always say, like, now I'm having lunch with them. I'm going to their birthday parties, and it's amazing the difference between 1995 and 2025.
Yeah, especially in Atlanta. I know you said you key in on civil rights. Do you do anything outside of the civil rights era when it comes to your tours, like music icons, studios,
of course,
and things of that nature?
Yeah, so we have the ATL remix, right?
Okay.
And I say that's a little bit of history and a little bit of trap and a whole lot of ATL.
Okay.
So in that, we are, going to the Black Music and Entertainment Walk of Fame. We might even just end up at Patchwork Studios. We'll go down to, of course, the Trap Cafe in museum.
Okay.
And then, we'll head on over to all the way down MLK and go to, and I can't even think of the restaurant right now, but they have these really crazy food descriptions, but it's on MLK. And then from there, a block up, we'll go to Cascade Skating Ring.
You gotta go to Cascade.
Yeah, we'll hit 285 and go all the way down and get off at Old National.
Crazy? I've lived here majority of my whole life, if not all. I've never been to Cascade Skating Ring.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah,
I've been there numerous times, but was recently there. It's been about a month now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been to Cascade Skating Ring.
Yeah, and then we'll even go to Rick Ross's The Promised Land.
Yeah. And now you got a radio station to bring them to.
Yeah, we can bring them here. If y'all allow it, we will.
We'll make it work.
Okay.
What made you get into the tourist side of things?
Like I was saying, it's always been in me, actually. Like anybody who comes to town, I'm always taking them someplace.
Okay.
I just like to show them, what's going on. I love giving information. And finally, this year, one of my best friends' nephew was graduating from Morehouse. And when they come full circle. So it was about at least 10 or 12 of them who came from D.C. to Atlanta. And I'm like, well, you want me to take you on a tour? And they were like, okay. And so I had a big group. And I took them on a tour, and they were like, Carla, you are really good. You really need to make this into a business. And I was like, I just don't feel like doing all that paperwork. I just don't feel like doing all of that, but I enjoy it. But then I had a little bit more time on my hands than I anticipated. And I was like, let me look into this. And I started to work out the details of it and figured a way to do it without having to do so much paperwork.
So I see you have multiple tours, right? You have about 6 tours.
Yeah.
Explain each tour and how it works.
Okay.
All
So
right.
we'll start out with the Black History and Civil Rights Tour.
Okay.
So that is your Sweet Auburn Avenue. That is your Martin Luther King Center. That is his house on Sunset.
Okay.
That's his old high school, which is Booker T. Washington. Pascal's Restaurant and Morehouse College. And I also have added to that tour the Shrine of the Black Madonna, and also the 1906 Atlanta Massacre mural.
Okay.
That is off of McDonough. McDonough Boulevard.
Okay.
It's right there in Southeast Atlanta, and we're looking at adding the Praise House in Westview Cemetery as well.
Okay.
So that's the Black History Civil Rights Tour.
Okay.
Now, when you talk about the ATL Remix Tour, that is Black Music and Entertainment Walk of Fame.
Okay.
That's T.I.'s Trap Cafe and Trap Museum. That's Cascade Skating Ring, Rick Ross's house, Tyler Perry's studios, Medea's, the original Medea's house, and then some murals throughout the West End.
Now, when you do these, do you have partners